Hello boys and girls. On tonight's episode I think we'll do a bit of a catch up on how the garden is growing. So it's allotment catch up. And we'll also be doing a bit of a spud tip out. I always like a good spud reveal, me. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. A spud reveal. On one of the buckets. The Ulster Princes. But without further ado, welcome to Eden, the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda. I'll start on the Lady Farmer's side at the front. So this is the Lady Farmer's plot, this. And what she's got here are pears on this tree. We've got a few pears coming, but I'm not sure that they're going to come to much, to be honest, because we've had the dry spells and we've got some splitting on them. But we have got pears, not very many though, this year. We had quite a few last year. We had about 50 off it last year, but I don't think we're going to get the same results this year. And the apples, even more disappointing. I think there's about 2 on. When I looked the other day, there's about 2. I think they even fell off. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's one, and I think there was another one. Anyway, got some strawberries in there, not many. We've got the rhubarb over here, looking a bit decimated because we've actually taken lots of rhubarb for rhubarb crumbles. Ellen's taken quite a bit to a girl at work, and she's going to be doing rhubarb pies and crumbles with that. In here, we've got second early potatoes, which I only planted in about 2 weeks ago. What we're doing this year is we're going to be doing successional growing, yeah? So we're growing in succession. I'll show you as we perambulate around the plots. So we don't want a glut. We want sort of enough to last a month, and then again the others will be ready a month later, so enough to last another month, and hopefully that's going to take us through till November. So there's some spuds in there. Strawberries, dedicated strawberry bed. And as you can see, we've got quite a few coming on the strawberries. I think these are the Cambridge ones, the sweet ones. So like Cambridge Favourite or something like that they're called. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, we've got spuds over here too. We've got kestrel. No, we've not. We've got Charlotte in this bed. Kestrel's in that bed. Charlotte's in this bed. We've got kestrels coming through, and I can't help myself but take a look. Where you see these little mounds coming up, that's where the spud plant is growing. Your little mounds coming up, and they're coming through, popping their noses through. Now they were put in about 4 weeks ago. So 4 weeks ago, I think about 10 days ago, not last Sunday but the Sunday before, they were put in. They are Ulster Prince, I do believe, in there, which are again a new potato. These are Charlotte salad potatoes. We've got the kestrel, which I think is a second early potato. So they're going to be left in there for about 14 to 15 weeks. They're going to be in the ground. And they were put in a month before these ones. Yeah. Have I got that right? They were 3 weeks ago. Sorry, I should have labelled them up. They were 3 weeks ago. And they were a month before that. So they've been in for 7 weeks now. They'll be getting another 4 or 5 weeks before I pull them up. But they're coming along strongly then. Got a nice bit of growth there on those plants. Raspberries. Tons of raspberries. And these are of the yellow raspberry variety. In fact, I think we've got a mix in here. I think we've got red raspberries and yellow raspberries in here. And as you can see, we got lots of them. Blackberries in this one. This is a blackberry bed. And you want to see the flowers on that, baby. I'll take you around. The blossom is where the fruit will grow, hopefully, fingers crossed. As you can see there, with a few little blackberries coming on. But it's absolutely festooned with blackberries, that. It's the best flush of blossom we've had since we got the plots, that. And it's growing rampant. That was chopped back about a foot in from the sides around Christmas time, that. But the growth is amazing on that. And the bees love them. There's a bumblebee now, look. There's loads of them. Loads of them on it. Yeah, the extent of the 16-foot bed full of raspberries there. In here we have cauliflower and we have weeds on this side. The reason there's weeds on this side is because all the raspberries are there and they were prickling my bottom when I was trying to weed. But I'm going to have to cut. I'm going to have to sacrifice some of these and cut them back because I need to get in there and weed that on that side. It's been weeded on the other side, but I believe there's about 20 cauliflowers in there. Cauliflower plants. Covered up as ever to protect them from the cabbage white butterflies and the wood pigeons, which would decimate them given half the chance because of the devil's birds and the devil's insect. They would devastate them. The cabbage white would lay its eggs on them leaves and then they'd hatch and we'd have hundreds of caterpillars eating all my plants. Same with this one. Now these were left inside the polytunnel a little bit too long, these, as you can see. And they're suffering for it, but hopefully if I look after them they'll come back. The sharp-eyed among you will spot that there are slug pellets in there. I can only apologise for that, but then again, if I didn't do that on this plot, they'd be eaten alive. I've actually done an experiment. We've tried all sorts. We've tried soil nematodes and all sorts of things, everything, and nothing seemed to work. This year though, it's looking like we've not got that much of a slug problem. Maybe it's taken a couple of years for the soil nematodes to get established and they're keeping the slugs under control. Slug nematodes, look it up. That's a nest of pak choy that's all bolted because we went away on holiday and were cursed to sprouted pak choy. Still edible though. You can eat the flowers, you can eat the stems, you can eat the leaf. That's all going to be coming out this week anyway because we've got more cauliflowers to put in there. So I'm going to be sort of chopping that up and freezing it up and we'll be alright. We'll get a feed out of it still. It's just that when we came back from holiday, it was all like that, unfortunately. I do love that bed. It's my best bed yet. Broad beans. Broad beans are coming along strongly. We've even got a few little broad beans coming on. I spotted them before. They're very small at the moment, but I'm certain that I spotted some before. In fact, I did definitely spot them before. They're the start. That's the start of one there. Little willy sticking up. We call them willy beans, us, because when the bean comes out it looks like a willy. But we should be getting plenty, fingers crossed, of broad beans off that. Alright, I've got peas as well. This is my side, we're on now. Yeah. Early onward in there, and Kelvedon Wonder, excuse me, in that one. And again, we've got the pods coming on. And starting to swell. But it'll be a couple of weeks yet before we start picking them. But as soon as we do, the kids and the good lady wife will descend upon this plot like locusts. They never make it home, these peas. These are the Kelvedon Wonder, these ones. Then. And I started some more off the other day, which I'll show you when we get up to the polytunnel in a bit. This area here is where we do our relaxation. We have our barbecues and stuff like that. I gave that a thoroughly good weeding the other day. A ruddy good weeding the other day, that lad. Because they're up here, the weeds all over. Bindweed, horses, look, this stuff here, bindweed. All over that. Another, like these blue ones here. These ones. Which I always forget the name of. Is it Gypsyphilia or something like that? Anyway, it was all over here. There's tons of it all down there. All in between the flags. But it's not looking too bad in that location. I'm clearing all this off, making it nice and presentable. Because I'm going to ring family up next weekend and we'll have a barbie on here. These are looking shot at. So it's the heat. That's a lasagna thing where, you know, you get the different sorts of flowers coming up. But yeah, the heat has had effect. It's been grossly intolerant, the heat, for the last couple of weeks. Onions, We've got red onions down there. These are this year's red onions. When you see us escape, never let it escape. Yeah, that's escape. The seeds for the onion are growing in the top of that, but it stops the growth of the onion. I always have trouble with these red ones, mate. These are Electra, but every red one I've tried has been a disappointment to me. They never grow to full fruition. Like these garlics here, these are a disappointment. I put them in just after Christmas time, see if they'd do out, and they've done nought. And that's Wigginese, lads and lasses, Wigginese. They've done that, them. Onions there, these were transplanted. These are the Japanese sensu at the front, these 6, which were overwintered in there. And then they were all transplanted out of there and put in here. And it hasn't affected them, if you look. We're getting some nice bonny onions on. I'm going to try and see if I can wait and hang them on till they naturally flop over and the growing cycle is complete with those. But there's all the sensu. These ones are Centurion. We've got some white Centurion there, which are quite closely planted. We've got the shallots, golden gourmet shallots there. One shallot in, several shallots out, as you can see there. You get 9 or 10 off the one. So those are our alliums. I usually do alright with garlic, you know, guys, but not this year, Clarice. I didn't put them in at the right time. I should have put them in October last year. Around about Halloween time last year, I should have started them. Anyway, those hopefully are going to be, which I put in the other day, are going to be butter beans. There's a space there as well for the elf beans, the French climbing beans that Joe Lowe does, but they're not ready for putting in yet. In fact, I've not even started them yet. I need to get them started. Remind me, I need to start the Wise Elves magic beans. And we're back here to this. This is a spectacular setup. This, if I do say so myself, it's fantastic. I'll give you the full shot. Look at that. It's an absolute beauty, that, of a Brassica cage. And it's in the same position as where Bradley's cage was, but it's about twice as high as Bradley's cage. When Bradley was a little and he could walk about in that, but now he can't. But his dad can. He can if he wants. So come into here. This is brilliant, this. Ideal. Ideal, that. Got all these broccoli plants down here. And we've actually got some broccoli starting there. Little broccoli starting there, and I think there's one spotting another one. I've just watered up, guys and gals, because obviously in this heat, every couple of days you're watering up. I'll give it a deep watering me as well. Plenty. But look at that kale, and look at the quality. It's absolutely perfect, untouched by slug or caterpillar, that. It's absolutely perfect. And all I've done is I put plenty of that chicken manure in. That's just compost and chicken manure, this, that's doing that, creating these. These were like weedy pointed cabbage starts when I put them in, and they're coming through all right now. They're coming through nice, and again, there's not a bloody mark on them. I've cursed myself now, they'll be covered in slugs next time I come down, but fingers crossed. And the kale, like I said, the kale is absolutely show quality. It's absolutely lovely. But yeah, I'm well chuffed with this. It stands at 6'6" high, this. You can easily walk about, spread your wings. Pronouncements and enunciations to the cosmos from this one. Love it. And it keeps the bugs out, for sure. Ace that. My potato bed. This is my main crop potato bed. We've got the King Edward's on this side. So from where that purple one is there, it's King Eddie's that side. And then that side of the purple eye protector is the Maris Piper. Yeah, Maris Piper, which are again a great potato. I don't think I've ever actually grown King Eddies, but this is a shootout really between the English and the Scottish, although there are more Scottish than there are English, but we'll see how they get on. And the Scottish were planted in about 3 or 4 weeks before the English, so we'll have to weigh them. We'll have to do a weigh up. But yeah, they've been in now for about 3 months. They've been in for 3 months. These were put in just after St Patrick's Day. I think it was about something like the 20th of March when these were in, but they're coming along strong. So again, they'll need another, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks really, with them being the main crop potatoes. Should get nice big chipping and mashing potatoes out of them, baked potatoes and whatnot. On this side, it's a neglected grapevine, so we're going to try and ask the wise old elf this weekend if he can trim it or show us how to trim it, because we are getting grapes on, but we've got a massive overgrowth. It hasn't been trimmed and it needs to be cut down, but there are grapes on it. But they're not going to do nothing unless I sort that out, and I'm going to ask Joe if he'll come and give us a lift with it, because he's good with grapes, Joe, the wise old elf. And there's more weeding to be done. I pulled all this out the other day, or rather the lady farmer did. She pulled all these out the other day, and there's still tons in there. Nothing but weeding we did this last weekend. Constant weeding. There's the lady farmer's shed. This is Tiki Tunnel number 1, made from the trampoline frames. See if we can get it in shot. It's made from the trampoline frames, that. 2 trampoline frames, 10 footers. Creates 4 hoops, or 4 semi-hoops. And then you do the rest. Take you a full weekend for it to do it. In fact, it'll probably take you about 4 days to get it like this, with all the trimmings on the inside of it. But if you haven't seen this before, I love it. These have been in here far too long, these beets. Beetroot, rhubarb chard, rainbow chard. Again, these are suffering in here. These need to go out. So we've got roundhead cabbage there. We've got lettuce that's on its last legs. We've got cauliflower there, which definitely does need to go out. And we've got these chilli plants that need to be planted on, and they're going to be planted in there. I'll show you the location in a sec. I've only at the moment got 2 tomato plants, but again, we're going to try for some successional tomato harvesting this year. So all I've got there is 2 sun gold. The kids absolutely love sun gold. I'm not a massive fan of standard tomatoes, but sun gold are lovely, really sweet. But what we're going to do with these is I've let them grow at the moment. I've let them grow on. The suckers, yeah, or the off branches that come out from the crook of the elbow. That's a good example. This. I'll trim that off, cut it at a 45-degree angle, put it in some growth hormone, some like sort of rooting compound, and we should get another plant out of that. Pot it up and get another plant out of that. So there's that one, and there's also this one. There's this one. So we'll get another set, and they're going to be going into there, and then we'll get another set, and they're going to be going in behind me in this one. So we'll have 6. But you get plenty of tomatoes off these, and doing it the way that we're doing, I'm hoping that we're going to get tomatoes all the way through the year. Do you know what I mean? So we don't get a glut of them. We're just going to get tomatoes growing all the way through to perhaps September time and into October. We'll be taking them off here within the next 4 weeks, yeah. But then we'll be needing to another 4 or 5 weeks after that. More will be coming through. More will be coming through, and hopefully, like I say, we're gonna get tomatoes up until mid to end September. Fingers crossed. So these are the other peas. I've got 60 cells there. Now I did film that, but something went wrong with it. And these are Hurst's green shaft, yeah. And I put them in the first week of June, so really they're late. They're late then, but I've got my fingers crossed for them. So Hurst Green Shaft, there's 60 plants in there, and I've put them in the slug fort that we grew the kale in last year. You know, we had the kale pots on top of it, and the kale did well over winter. And the salt's still in the bottom one there, that prevents the slugs from getting in. So hopefully it's going to be doing the same thing with the worms. Sorry, not the worms, you fool. The slugs. So the slugs won't be able to get to them. I'm a stupid get me. The mice. Hopefully that'll prevent the mice from getting into my peas. I can put them on there if not. But I don't like having them too high up. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's too high up, it's getting too much heat in here. But they're in the root trainers. Mick lent us that. Magical Mick Derbyshire from old Mac Derby's farm. I sound like Sylvester the cat, me. I'm whistling through my missing tooth. But Mick give us that. Or lent us that. He's lent us that. We're coming towards the end of it now, guys. Half the plot's not planted up as yet. But I just thought I'd show you where we are at the minute. Cucumber plants. 3 of. The female variety. These are female F1 variety. And you can see the little cukes are already coming on there. I'm running them up this trellis. I showed you this the other week, didn't I, where we had them. We put them in the bottomless buckets and water from the sides and feed from the top. So they've had a feed today, they've also had a water today. And I'm doing that about every 3 days with these, with the watering and then the feeding. I'm actually doing the feeding once a week. With the magic comfrey that I showed you on the last video. There's another spud. I think that one is either a Maris Piper or it's a King Eddie's. But it's a main cropper that's in there. And I've not watered it today. I'll have to water that tomorrow. Got to water that today. But we've got more stuff to plant in. We've got the spinach there. That's going to be going into the beds. We've got all this beetroot. It's going to be open planted. It's cluster sown, open planted beetroot. That. It's looking a bit flat because I've watered it from above as well as below because it's been dead hot. I've only just done it. They'll all perk up, guys. Don't worry about them. They'll be fine. But these are going to have to go out shortly because they're getting singed on the sides because it's too sunny and hot in here. The courgettes are going to be going out this week. I've got 2 courgettes. I got these 2 from Paul Green Nurseries. And we've got more broccoli in the form of purple sprouting broccoli. That's going to be going in. Last but not least, Spuddies that are ready as well, these Ulster prints. So we're going to do a bit of a tip. Should we do a bit of a tip? Why not? We've had so far from these, there's only 3 buckets left, but I did have 10 buckets. We've had 5 lots of these over the last couple of weeks. And I gave Mark at work, Mark Richardson, he's had a couple. So what I'll do is I'll pause you. Yeah, just took the top foliage off that, chucked it in there, pulled it out. The seed potato's still attached to that underneath there. So I might have to break through that and see if there's any more spuds in there, but we'll see what's in the bucket. See what we've got, shall we? Watch this be a dud. The others have been ace. Oh, it's not a dud. It's not a dud. Might not be as good as the other ones, but we never know. We never know. This is live time, guys. Live time. We'll see what we've got. Oh! Why do I make them noises? They were put in, the Ulster prints were put in on the 11th of March 2023. Bone meal and I think that's chicken pellets. Yeah, it'll be chicken pellets. Bone meal and chicken pellets. These are bad. Oh, we're not so bad. We're not so bad. We're not so bad. We've got a few spuds. One in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So far 10 out. Let me get my bucket. Put that there. Well, no, I'll put that there. 1, 2, 3. They're good size, aren't they? 4. Because these are first early. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any more for any more? Oh, little ones, got little tiddlers. Oh, there's another one. 10. A little tiddler. Have to get all the tiddlers. As many as you possibly can. I love spuds. I love spud reveals. And that's not the best we've ever had, obviously, but it's still not bad. It's alright. I'm happy with that. 10 decent sized spuds there. And a couple of tiddlers. From 1 in. So 1 spud in. And 10 out. And the one that went in was about that size. So the return's probably 12 fold, isn't it? 1 in and them out. That's alright, that. I'm happy with that. That'll do. The 2 that I did the other day were at the front, and I think they've been getting more water because we got more volume, if you like, out of the other 2. It was probably a quarter again. We ended up with, like I say, 14 or 15 spuds out of each one of this sort of size. But yeah, I love spuds. Especially these. These are my favourite ones, these Ulster prints. Favourite potatoes then. Beautiful taste. And that's me, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed that. We have got other areas of the allotment. There's another greenhouse there. But I've not got anything in it. Half the plot's not planted this year. But it will be. I've got plenty to plant out, and I'll be filling these beds up. I'm starting some more seeds off, you know what I mean. I'm going to be starting the elf beans off as well this week. So hopefully in about a month's time we'll have all the plot. We'll have all the plot planted up. But I'm a bit behind this year. Right, take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, we love you all. Even though I'm blinding you there, probably. IT issues, hopefully, are going to be sorted out soon. But until then, we're just going to carry on doing these wanners. And you'll be pleased to know there'll be no adverts because I'm not monetising any of these ones. Here we are. This is how we're looking. Lots of weeding still to do. We'll do that this weekend. And there's the cheeky hut down at the bottom. Right, bye bye boys and girls. Take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, we love you all. Ta-da now.